excellent biographies and other books about Lincoln have appeared and continue to appear. Most of these are substantial works. One definitive multi-volume biography runs well over 500,000 words. Amid this cascade of information, I believe there is room for a brief biography that captures the essential events and meaning of Lincoln's life without oversimplification or overgeneralization. This is what I have tried to do in the following pages. James M. McPherson. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in Hardin County, Kentucky, about 50 miles south of Louisville. His father, Thomas Lincoln, had come as a child with his family from Virginia in 1782. Thomas acquired only enough literacy to sign his name, but gained modest prosperity as a carpenter and farmer on the Kentucky frontier. He married Nancy Hanks, also illiterate, in 1806. Abraham was born in a log cabin on Sinking Spring Farm, 3 miles south of Hodgenville. When he was 2 years old, the family moved to another farm on Knob Creek, about 7 miles northeast of Hodgenville. On this farm of 230 acres, only 30 of which were tillable, young Abraham lived for 5 years, helped his parents with chores, and learned his ABCs by attending school for a few weeks with his older sister Sarah. In December 1816, the Lincolns moved again, this time to Indiana, which had just been admitted to the Union as a state. The traditional notion that the Lincolns moved because of a dislike of slavery may have some truth. They belonged to a Baptist denomination that broke from the parent church on the slavery issue. The main reason for the move, however, was the uncertainty of land titles in Kentucky, which caused Thomas to lose much of his property. Indiana offered secure titles surveyed under the Northwest Ordinance. There Abraham learned the use of axe and plow, as he helped his father carve a house and farm out of the hardwood forest. The growing youth also snatched a few more months of education in the typical one-room schoolhouses of the frontier. In late 1817 or early 1818, the Lincolns were joined by Nancy's Aunt Elizabeth Hanks Sparrow and her husband Thomas Sparrow and Abraham's cousin Dennis Hanks. Soon thereafter, in the fall of 1818, the Sparrows and Nancy Hanks Lincoln all died of milk-sick, probably caused by drinking the milk of cows that had grazed on poisonous white snake root. After a year of trying to keep house and raise the children by himself, Thomas Lincoln returned to Kentucky to seek a wife. On December 2nd, 1819, he married the widow Sarah Bush Johnston, and brought her and her 3 children to his farm on Pigeon Creek, Indiana. His stepmother provided Abraham with affection and guidance. With a desire for learning and an ambition for self-improvement, he devoured every book he could borrow from the meager libraries of friends and neighbors. The King James Bible and Pilgrim's Progress offered him maxims for life, as well as a model for the poetic prose that characterized the best of his later writings. Thomas Lincoln neither encouraged nor understood his son's intellectual ambition. Quite the contrary, he chastised Abraham's lazy preference for reading over working. The teenaged Abraham's thinly veiled disdain for the life of a backwoods farmer doubtless irritated his father. Abraham, in turn, resented the requirement of law and custom that any wages he earned before he reached the age of 21, by hiring out to neighbors to split rails, for example, must be turned over to his father. Abraham Lincoln's hatred of slavery, which denied to slaves the fruits of their labor, may have been influenced by Thomas Lincoln's